Welcome each and everyone, and I'm glad to have you back in Chef Henry Kitchen. I'm going to show you my way of making coconut oxtail, and this is a new recipe, and this recipe you can make it for your whole entire family. Open your cupboard and your fridge, grab your ingredients, and let's make this recipe. I'm going to go over all of the ingredients. We are using 5 pounds of oxtail, and I wash the oxtail using vinegar, some nice big pieces, and also some small pieces. Coconut, and I deshell the coconut, and I'm going to use this coconut to extract the fresh coconut milk. I will be adding carrot into the oxtail, sweet pepper, green onion / scallion, oregano leaves, and lots of people in Jamaica know this as French thyme, regular thyme, and a small onion and a large onion. I'm going to use browning for coloring. 1 tablespoon of pimento berry, and allspice is just the grounded form for pimento. And for the seasoning, I'm using a tablespoon of beef seasoning, a tablespoon of meat seasoning, and a tablespoon of all-purpose seasoning, and also a tablespoon onion powder. I forget 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and this I'm going to use when I'm frying up the oxtail. I'm going to add this into the oil. So I'm going to start sprinkling the seasoning. And we're not going to add all the seasoning at once. We're going to save some for when we're cooking down the oxtail. I almost forget about garlic and thumb size of ginger. So we're going to add 3 tablespoons of browning. You don't want to add too much browning, because too much browning can let the meat have a bitterish taste. So 3 tablespoons is the right amount of browning. And also it would give the oxtail the perfect color. I'm going to massage the browning and the seasoning into the oxtail. Now that I finish massaging the seasoning with the browning, this is what your oxtail pieces should look like. Nice and well seasoned. I'm going to cover, and I'm going to place it in the fridge, and I'm going to let it marinate for 25 minutes. While the oxtail is in the fridge marinating, I'm going to cut up the green seasoning. We just want to get all the green season chopped up, and also the vegetable, because this is essential for when you're cooking down the oxtail. And this coconut oxtail recipe, it's a good recipe because I make it once and I decided I have to make this recipe for you guys. I'm gonna rest the sweet peppers onto the plate. Now I finished cutting up the green seasoning. I'm gonna transfer the green seasoning into a bowl, and also the pepper. Now I get the blender set up. I'm gonna blend up the coconut to extract the fresh coconut milk. So I cut up my coconut and I wash them. So I'm gonna add them into the blender. I have 1 cup of water into this bowl, so I'm going to add it into the blender. And I'm going to cover, and I'm going to start blend. The blending is complete. I am going to remove the lid. This fruit bag, I always use it for extracting coconut milk, and it's gonna help with separating the milk from the pulp. I am going to transfer the blended coconut into the squeeze bag, just like this. Get the mouth covered and then just pour. Twist the top of the bag, then squeeze. And this is what the fresh coconut milk look like. I have my pot on the stove and I added half a cup of vegetable oil, and I'm gonna turn the stove on. I'm gonna set it at the high settings. I'm gonna wait until the oil is hot. Now that the oil is hot, I am going to add the 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. The brown sugar gonna add more color and also more flavor. And we're just gonna keep on mixing it until the sugar melted. And you want the sugar to look just like this, and also you don't want to burn the sugar. I am going to remove the aluminum foil from the oxtail. Now we are going to add the oxtail pieces into the pot. Now I'm going to add the green seasoning into the bowl with the leftover seasoning. I am going to use the green seasoning when I'm cooking down the oxtail. You want to keep on stirring. You don't want the oxtail to stick to the bottom of the pot while the oxtail is getting colored. And if you make it this far into the video and you haven't subscribed as yet, hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell, and this helps the channel to grow. I am going to place the cover on and I'm going to let the oxtail fry up for 15 minutes. I am going to check on the oxtail. And we'll let the oxtail fry up for 15 minutes. I am going to shut the stove off and I'm going to drain some of the oil. I'm going to drain it in this bowl. Just want to remove some of that liquid. That's the oil that's coming off the top. And that's the amount of oil we are removing from the pot. Time to cook down the oxtail. I'm going to add the coconut milk. I am going to mix it in. Follow up by the green seasoning. Now the oxtail gonna get that green season goodness and flavor. And we're gonna stir the green seasoning in. I'm gonna add the pimento, followed by 2 cups of hot water. Just enough to cover the oxtail. I'm going to cover and let it come to a rolling boil. Then I'm going to do a taste. Now I'm going to check on the oxtail. I'm going to stir it. Now I'm going to do a taste. I always use 2 spoons to taste the pot. Now I'm going to add more seasoning. You want to get the pot well seasoned at this point. And I'm going to mix it in. So always remember, you want to mix out enough seasoning because you're going to add water into the pot, and water going to take away some of the flavor from the meat. I'm going to do another taste. I'm gonna add all of the seasoning. And you can tell that the seasoning is on point, and this just top it off. I know my seasoning is on point. I'm gonna do another taste. The right amount of seasoning. I'm gonna cover on this oxtail, cooking it this way. It's gonna cook for 3 hours, but I'm gonna come back in 2.5 hours to check on the oxtail. See your timer. The timer went off for 2.5 hours. 30 more minutes to go. I'm gonna check on the oxtail. I'm gonna stir it. And I'm gonna show you the oxtail pieces. Now I'm gonna add the sweet peppers, followed by the carrots, and I'm gonna stir the carrot and the sweet pepper in. I'm gonna place the cover on, and I'm gonna drop the temperature, and I'm gonna let it simmer for the remaining 30 minutes. Now I'm gonna check on the oxtail, and I'm gonna give it the final stir. The coconut oxtail is finished cooking. I'm gonna shut the stove off, and I'm gonna make a plate, and I will see you all for the taste test. Now I have my coconut oxtail on a plate. Check it out. And I serve it with delicious banana fufu. First, I'm gonna show you that the oxtail is like falling off the bone. Look at that, nice. This is so delicious. I'm gonna try it with the fufu, and this is green banana fufu. Wash my fingers and go in. And I'm gonna dip it up in the oxtail. Where am I at? This tastes amazing. And also you can go check out the other fufu that's on my channel. I'm gonna put it right here. Go and make this. Follow everything in the recipe, and you will make amazing falling off the bone oxtail. And this is coconut oxtail. See you on the next one.